Okay, Erev Tov everyone. Continuing with Sefer HaChinuch, Sefer HaMitzvot, the seventh mitzvah. The mitzvah shelo le'echol HaPesach na umevushal. It's a prohibition to eat the Korban Pesach when it's na, which is partially roasted or rare, or mevushal is boiled or cooked. Shelo le'echol besar HaPesach na ubashel. Cannot eat it partially roasted or boiled. Kim seliesh, it must be fully roasted over fire. Shnei Maz pasuk says al tochelu mimenu na uvashel meushal b'mayim kim seliesh. Very clearly. Ha'inyan hazeh, the description of this, shelo yochal oto kodem gmar bishulo afilu betzali. A person should not eat the Pesach before it's fully cooked, even if it was partially cooked through roasting. It has to be fully cooked. So if you are a person that doesn't like well done meat, well, too bad for you. This has to be well done. Vezeu perush na. That's the meaning of na, when it's partially roasted. Shabasar sheitchil bo maaseh ha'ur v'nitzla me'at. For meat that the fire started to affect it, somewhat roasted. Ve'eno raui lachilat adam adayin. But not fit yet for human consumption, nikra na. So it's been more like in a very, very rare state. Aval keshu chai legamre. But when it's completely raw, shelo yitchil bo ha'ur klal, to which the fire has not begun to affect it at all, enze bikal lav dena. This is not included in the prohibition of na, lilkot alav mishum hatochelu mimenu na, so that a person will get malchut and lashes for this. Aval, however, asumi deoraita, it is still biblically forbidden to eat a korban pesach raw, shekol she'eno tzali esh asra Torah derech klal, because any meat that is not considered roasted over the fire is prohibited by the Torah in a general manner. Uperush bashel, the definition of boiled, is shebishlo b'mayim or bekol mashke or b'meperot. Something that is that was boiled in liquid or fruit juice. So that's the meaning of that specific bishul. Riba hakol, and includes all other liquids. Misharshe mitzvah zu, the purpose of this mitzvah, mashekatu b'shchitato, is what's written in mitzvah number 5. Which is in reference to the slaughter of Pesach. We want to remember the miracle of Yetziat Mitzrayim. So the reason why we were specifically supposed to eat it while roasted is because the ways of the nobles and the princes is to eat roasted meat. Shehu machal tov umut'am. It is good and tasty. Whereas the rest of the people only won't eat that much of that unless it's boiled. Because boiled food fills up your stomach more. And since they don't have as much wealth as maybe the princes, so they need the food needs to really satiate them for a long time. Since we eat the Korban Pesach to commemorate our Exodus, Liot Mamlechet Kohanim Be'am Kadosh, which the whole purpose of Yetziat Mitzrayim is so that we are a kingdom of Kohanim and a holy people. Vadai Raui Lanu Linai Bachilato Derech Cherut Vesarut. It's fitting for us to conduct ourselves in a way that expresses freedom and nobility. People that eat roasted meat. Milevad, this is
the night of Pesach, right?
Yes.
Okay, so when did they cook it?
This was made from before.
Like during the day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. During the day, or during the day.
So they would eat it cold then at night, no?
No, something that had it roasting. They have it considered on the fire, keep it roast. Yeah.
You're allowed to cook on the hug.
And you can cook on the hug. You can warm it up.
Were they cooking it in the Bet HaMikdash?
No. They brought it back home. They shechted it and they brought it back home.
There's no Bet HaMikdash. Mitzrayim. There's no Bet HaMikdash.
No. But I'm saying in the time of the Bet HaMikdash, that's what they did. They shechted in the Bet HaMikdash, right? And then they went outside. Yeah, they went outside. I think I remember the Mishnayot talks about there was these places outside where they would have fires going all the time, so people can roast it. Yeah. Milevad, this is aside from the fact she'achilat hatzali yoreh al hachipazon she'atzu mitzrayim. Eating the Korban Pesach roasted points to the idea that we left bivhilu yatzanu mitzrayim, that we left with haste. So we were forced to roast the meat. V'lo yachlu lishot ad she'yipashel b'ktera. Cooking takes a lot longer than roasting, right? You do a nice steak, put it on the grill, and you have it ready in 4 minutes. You put it in the oven, it takes a lot longer. Or certainly if you boil it in a liquid. Dinei mitzvah, the laws of the mitzvah, kegon, for example, imasau tzli kedera, if someone prepared the Korban Pesach as like a pot roast, like a slow cook, shredded the meat or something. Or he basted it with fruits, liquid, or other liquid or water. Or b'shemen truma, or if he basted it with truma oil. Madino, and what the laws are. V'yete pratea, additional details of the mitzvah. Mevoarim b'psachim, are elaborated in Masechet Psachim. V'noeget bizcharim u'benekevot. This mitzvah applies to both men and women. Bizman habayit, in the time of the Beit Hamikdash. Ve'aver alea ve'achal now muvushal. Someone who transgresses this and eats raw meat or boiled meat, loke, he receives lashes. V'chen imachal shnehem ke'achat loke malkut achat. And also, if he eats both of them at the same time, he would only receive one set of malkut, sheshnehem lav echad, because these are not two separate mitzvot. It is one mitzvah of not to eat meat either roasted or boiled. Ledat Rambam Zichrono Livracha, which is according to what the Rambam holds. And now, Beharamban. Now you should know the Ramban Zichrono Livracha Manaotan Shne Lavim. He says that this is actually two separate averot, not to eat it raw and not to eat it boiled, two separate ones. Vekatav, and he also writes Shelokin alema kol echad ve'echad, that you would receive lashes for both of them. Since it's written, you shall not eat it, unless it was roasted. What purpose is there to specify roasted and boiling? If you're telling me that I have to eat it fully roasted, then why do you have to tell me not to do it now mevushal? Shema mina, according to Ramban, the fact that it added those two things not to do, it is l'kota kol echad ve'echad min hapratim, is to tell you that if you were to do both of them, you would get two separate lashes. Ve'amar Zichrono Livracha, the Ramban also said, Ki bechol ha-mitzvot yeh ha'inyan ken. With regards to all the mitzvot, the rule is similar. Shekol ha-nifratim b'Torah echad ve'echad, whenever you see numerous subjects in the Torah listed individually, vehem dvarim chalukim, and they are distinct subjects, nimne kol echad le-mitzvah achad becheshvon ha-mitzvot, the commandment regarding each one is counted as a separate mitzvah in the 613. Kegon zeh dena umevushal, like this example where you have na, which is raw, and mevushal, boiled. V'chen etnan umechir. You have the avera not to bring a harlot's payment or the exchange of a dog to the Beit Hamikdash. Those are two separate mitzvot. Also, seor and devash. You cannot bring any seor or honey and bring it onto the mizbeach. So you see, also you would have those are two separate mitzvot according to the Ramban. Bezulatam, and there are others besides these. Ve'omnam beinyan malkut. However, with regards to the number of sets of malkut, yes chiluk pahem. The Ramban says there's a distinction among the list. Shekol hanifratim belav echad. The rule is whenever subjects are specified under one statement, en lokin alehem ela malkut achad. Then he will only get one set of lashes. Kegon etnan zonah umchir kelev, like the harlot payment and the exchange of the dog. Okay, there's one warning, so only get one set of malchut, even though it's two separate averot. Usor devash, the same thing with the leaven and the honey. Mishpat ger yatom, the same is true with your judgment of a convert or an orphan. Torah says you cannot pervert the judgment of a convert or an orphan. So the same thing, you have two subjects over there. It's two separate mitzvot, but you'll only get lashes for one. Aval halavin sheyesh bahen klalu pratim. But the prohibitions that have a generalization and a list of specific subjects, but techila o basof, whether the specific subjects are listed first or at the end, then kegon ze halav sheporat na umbushal. An example is our mitzvah, where the pasuk specifies partially roasted and cooked, vekolel, and it also generalizes al tochelu kim yesh. You should only eat it while roasted. V'chen benazir, also with the nazir, kolel mikol. There's a general prohibition, and then it says, asher yaseh migefen hayayin lo yochel. Anything that's made from grapes, you shall not eat. And then ve'achar kach poret, it specifies chartzanim, seeds, vezag, and the skin of grapes, anavim lachim, fresh grapes, vivashim, and dried grapes. Ba'elu v'kayotze ba'en lokin alehen akol echad ve'echad. Then you will get lashes for each and every one. This is because the inclusion of the specifics, which would have been unnecessary, indicates that there is a separate malkut for each one of them. So if you're already telling me the general rule, don't drink wine, then why do you need to specify the skins of the grapes, the seeds of the grapes, the fresh grapes? Obviously, says the Ramban, it must teach me that you're going to get a separate malkut for each one that you do. Vehirba harav re'ayotav hazeh, and the Ramban brings lots of proofs to this. Ve'ikar ha'teshi b'sefer hamitzvot shelo, in his glosses to Shoresh 9, she'en cheshbon halavin kecheshbon hamalkuyot, where he says that the count of the averot are not necessarily the count of the malkut. V'zeh she'amarti, and this what I said, we're almost done, this what I said, she'aramban zichrono livracha yivnei kol ha'nifratim lishmam echad mitzvah b'fnei atzma, that the Ramban counts each and every one of these subjects by name as a separate mitzvah. Davka keshem chalukim ba'inyan, only when they're truly distinct, kemo shekatavnu, kegon seor, udvash, etnan, umechir. Aval b'makom she'inyan echad, but when all the nature of the subjects are the same, af al pi shenifratin b'shemot chalukim, even though the subjects are specified with individual names, lo nimna zeh ki mitzvah achad, they're only counted as one mitzvah. And he gives some examples. Kegon, kol habechor asher yivaled bivkarecha u'b'tzonecha. Every firstborn animal that is born in your cattle and in your flock. She'en zeh ela, that means you have to, they're holy and you have to bring to the Beit HaMikdash. She'en zeh la tzava achat. This is only one commandment. Le'akdish kol bechor. That you have to sanctify the firstborn. Ve'aprat enu ela bi'ur. The fact that the pasuk specifies cattle and flock is really just a clarification of the commandment. It's not telling you that there's two separate mitzvot, that you have to sanctify cattle and you have to sanctify flock. It's just explaining to you. Vechen kol ma'asar bakar vatzon. The same thing about tithing cattle and flock. She'en zeh la tzava achat. This is only one command. La'afrish latet ma'aser be'ema elu. To designate and set aside tithe from these animals. Vechen shoftim ve'shoterim. The same thing, the mitzvah to put judges and officers in your cities. She'en zeh la na'aseh din al pi hanashim ha'ele. Although it specifies judges and officers, it just wants to direct us that we should put justice through these men. V'tzava achati. And again, it's only one mitzvah. There's not a separate mitzvah for judges, to put judges, and a separate mitzvah for officers. Last example he gives, V'chen mozne tzedek, avne tzedek, efat tzedek, ve'in tzedek, that a person has to have correct scales, weights, dry measures, and liquid measures. She'akol tzava achat. It's all one command. Shelo neshakir midot, that we should not falsify measures. Yes?
How long after the first born, you bring it to the face mikdash, like right away? As soon as it's born,
Usually within the first 30 days. It's brought to birth. But we'll get there when we get to the mitzvah. Okay, we'll stop here. We'll continue next time.